So, let me ask you something, Mama. Have you ever felt like you just carrying your business all by yourself and not necessarily because your family isn't supportive, but because they don't fully understand what it is that you're building? Maybe your spouse sees the hours, but not the vision. Maybe your kids see you on your laptop and think you're just working again. Maybe you're trying to squeeze business into the margins of family life and hoping that everyone just figures it out. Well, what if instead of building your business around your family, you brought your family into the journey? Today, we're talking about how to make your business a team sport when we return. Hey, welcome back, Mama, to another episode of the Making of a Mompreneur Show. I am your host, Rashida Green. I am the founder and CEO of Get Right Coaching, the host of the wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to start, grow, and scale online businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. And we do that through coaching, content, community, and of course, the Digimompreneur Academy. So if you are joining us live, go ahead and put hashtag live in the comments. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And if you're watching the replay, guess what? We still love you, boo, because hey, you're still taking time to watch our show and get this juicy information we got for you. All right. And if you are tuning in from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, across the world, go ahead and let us know. We really do want to know the reach of this community. All right. So last episode, we had a full a quick little fun talking a little bit of fun talking about mompreneur bloopers. And yeah, if you didn't watch it, go ahead and watch it. It's a shorter episode for us. But we really did just want to reach out and talk about all the ways that real life interrupts our best laid plans, right? For our business, for ourselves, for personal life. And so today we're taking a deeper step into the family pillar because we're talking about, of course, our BFFs. We talked about business, we talked about faith, and now we're on family. And then, of course, after that is S for our self care pillar. Um, right, because one of the greatest gifts you can give your family is not just the benefits of your business, it's helping them understand the vision behind it. And one of the greatest gifts your family can give you is support, but support often starts with communication. So, welcome to today's episode, The Family Meeting: How to Make Your Business a Team Sport. Let me start by saying this: your family doesn't automatically know what you're trying to build. I know it sounds obvious, like, hey, why not? I mean, really. But sometimes we assume they should understand. We assume our spouse sees what we see. OMG. We assume our children understand why we're working late. We assume everyone knows the sacrifice. Everyone knows the goals and everyone knows the dreams connected to this business. But if we haven't actually communicated, I mean, had a conversation, talked about it, shared it with your family, then they may only see the work and not the purpose, not the vision you have, not the long term impact that you want to create. And when people don't understand the vision, it's hard for them to fully support it. And so I want to come to you from Habakkuk 2:2, where it says, write the vision and make it plain. Now, this scripture is often used in business and goal setting. But today I want to apply it to family because sometimes we need to make the vision plain for the people living under our roof, not just for ourselves. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you have your pen, paper, or digital device ready, go ahead and get that ready so that you could jot down some of these good notes that we got for our family meeting. And if you are ready, you can always drop a hashtag ready in the comments. And if you haven't already, I want you to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode with your business besties. And you can also follow us at the Digimompreneur on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All right. So now that we've got all the formalities out of the way, let's drop the first point that we're talking about today, and that's share the why, not just the what. Okay. When we talk to our families about our business, we often talk about what we're doing, right? Oh, I'm launching this product. I'm recording a video. Like, I'm meeting with the client. I'm working on content. When I'm carrying my camera around, or I just strike a pose and take a selfie or whatever, they see all of that. But what our families often need to hear is the why. Why are you building this? Now, for us as entrepreneurs, we need to know the why in order to keep building, right? Because we can get tired, fizzle out, and all kinds of things. But if we keep the why ahead of us, we are more inclined to finish the task at hand. And so it is the same for our families. If they know the why, they can better support us. I mean, really, why does it matter that they know the why? Because why are you willing to invest time and energy into it? For some moms, the answer is flexibility. For others, it's additional income. And then for others of you out there who started your own business, you do it for purpose. And for others, it's just creating opportunities that didn't exist before. Imagine the difference between mom has to work again and mom is working on something that helps other moms, and helps create more freedom for our family. Same activity, different understanding. And people support what they understand. That goes for family or anyone, really. If you think about it, if people have buy-in, even like these charities, or just these instances where somebody's hard on their luck or been disenfranchised, and they put up these GoFundMe's, and they raise multiple thousands of dollars from strangers, because you know what, if they believe, if they know the why, they can get behind it, and that is really very crucial, and even in your family. So this is what we want to do. We want to invite your family into your vision. One of the biggest mistakes that we make as entrepreneurs is treating our business like a separate world, right? We don't want them to get involved. We want to keep them apart, and we may have good reasoning, or at least a thought process behind why we do it. We have our business life, and then we have our family life, and but often the strongest support comes when those worlds connect, which is why it is so important for us in the Mompreneur HQ to identify that, to call that out, and make space for it with our BFFs, um, pillars, because we know that moms are moms 24/7, 365, baby. And you having this business, it can be a lot of work, a lot of time away, but you still going to be a mom. So you always going to have those responsibilities with you. And if you don't have the support of your family, and you keep trying to do it all alone and by yourself, then sometimes that creates a strain and a rift within your family. Now, that doesn't mean your children need to know every business detail. I'm just not saying that you got to get so granular. And it doesn't mean that your spouse has to become your business partner, because hey, sometimes that doesn't work out either. But it does mean that allowing them to see the pieces of the journey, and getting to celebrate the wins with you, and share the milestones, and talk about goals, this really does help the bond that you have with your family, and the support that you will get from them as you're building your business. Let your family see your progress. Let them know when something good happens, because when people feel included, okay, they feel invested. This is our business. Even though you started it, it's a family affair. And what's funny? Kids are often far more interested in our businesses than we actually realize. They may not understand profit margins and marketing strategies, but they understand excitement. They understand accomplishment. They understand being a part of something. And sometimes the simple act of saying, guess what happened today, creates connection. Okay. My next point I would want to say is create age appropriate ownership. one of the most powerful ways to create family buy-in is to give your family opportunities to participate, right? Now, let me be clear. We talked about before paid opportunities. I'm not talking about turning your children into unpaid employees. I'm talking about helping them feel connected with your vision. And sometimes that connection happens in unexpected ways. I remember when I was doing a lot of vending events, I would pack up the car early in the morning, drive to the venue, set up my booth, spend the day selling, and then come home later that afternoon or evening. Most of the time, my husband would keep the girls while I would work the event. But one day, Greg had an appointment and I needed to bring the girls with me. Now, let me tell you, I quickly discovered that I did not have a ready made SOP for my little assistants. We were unloading products, setting up displays, figuring things out on the fly. I mean, we was hustling, and I was trying to give instructions while simultaneously getting the booth ready. It was a little chaotic, I could say that. I was saying things like, put those over there, and no, 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 not on that table. Can you hand me those? And they're like, those, that, this, what? Right? I didn't really have time to, excuse me, think about all the words that I needed because I was pressed for time. Um, I'm like, okay, well, where's this? Where's that? What happened to the sign? Did you bring the sign, get the sign that I asked you to get? We were figuring it out all together in real time, but something interesting happened. My daughters got to see what I actually do, not just that mommy was leaving the house yet again to go to work, not just that mommy was busy, or they actually got a chance to see the business. They watched the people walk up to the booth. Um, they watched me smile and greet customers. Hey, how are you? What are you shopping for today? Who are you shopping for today? Those kinds of things. They watched the people pick up, examine, and purchase the products. They watched conversations, the demeanor, how I was presenting myself and how I was responding and interacting with the passerbys, right? And then they watched people hand me money in exchange for my products that I created. And like most curious kids, they started asking questions. Why did they buy that? How much did they spend? How'd you come up with that price? What made them stop at your table? How did you know what they want? They were fascinated, inquisitive, because for the first time, they weren't hearing about the business. They were seeing it live and in action. And here's what I love about this experience. Now, you may have heard me talk about this before, but before then, my business was mostly an interruption from their perspective, right? Oh, mommy's going to work again. Oh, she's not going to be here. Or mommy's on her laptop again. Or mommy has another meeting. But after that experience, where they were able to experience it firsthand, something shifted. And they understood the purpose. They understood the process. They understood the impact that I was trying to make. And my oldest daughter, especially, took it to another level. When we got home, she started creating things that she wanted to sell. Not because I told her to, not because I made her. Nope, because she had seen entrepreneurship in action and she started setting goals. She started preparing for vending events. She pays attention to what's coming up so she can be ready. And after each event, she'll give a little debrief, telling me how much she made, what her goal was and how much she made. And she talks about what went well as far as the products that sold. And there was one point in time where she was making rubber band bracelets live at the actual event. So a kid would come up, pick out what colors they want, and she would tell them, okay, you can come back, that's this much money, and you can return within 10 minutes and I'll have that ready for you. I was like, okay. So she was able to do that right on the spot. And when she did her debrief, she was able to note, well, the things that were handmade sold quicker and better than the ones that were that we bought to sell. And so she started to recognize that. And so she was like, for the next time, this is what I'm going to do. She identified what she could improve, and more often than not, she exceeded the goal that she set for herself. When I tell you her goals wasn't even huge, right? Her goal one time was $65 because she wanted to get something. So her goal was $65. But think about it. If she's selling rubber band bracelets, how many bracelets did she have to sell to get $65? But that was her goal. She aimed and she surpassed her goal. Every time it happens, I smile because this is so different from where we started, right? Because we went from mommy's going to work again to how can I be a part of this, right? That's the power of involvement. That's the power of exposure. That's the power of letting your family see the vision instead of only seeing the sacrifice. Okay. So that's my little life story with me and my daughters. But the next point I want to talk about is how to host a family meeting, because that's one of the things that helps to really put the vision before the people and before your family and help to include them and share your why. Now, let's get practical. What does a family meeting actually look like? Because when I say family meetings, some of you may be picturing a corporate boardroom with charts and PowerPoint slide decks, and please don't do that. It's not necessary. This is simply a conversation that you're having with your family, and it can go as simple as a few steps. Number one, share your vision. Tell your family what it is that you're building and why that you're building it. Not just that what you're doing this week, which you can include, right? Because we're looking forward to what's happening this week. But I want you to share the bigger picture. What are you hoping this business creates? Whether it be more flexibility, more family vacations, which I'm sure they would love, debt freedom, college savings, or even paying back those student loans, right? What kind of impact did you plan on having when you thought about building this business? Help them to see beyond today's tasks and what this might mean for you and the family. Go ahead and share what success looks like. Talk about what you're working toward. Give them something tangible. Kids especially, they understand goals better than um uh, better when they're specific, right? If you say I have a goal to reach $100, they can see that that's tangible. They know what your goal is and how and what to do as far as going, hey mommy, did you reach your goal yet? Because that's another thing they do when you include them in the planning. They're able to get involved with the conversation and support you. So that's again what discuss what support looks like. Ask for the help when appropriate. Maybe it's uninterrupted work time and you have to actually say, hey, during this particular time, I'm going to need you and your brother or your siblings to, chill out a little bit because mommy needs this 30 minutes. Whatever it is, you want to communicate that. Maybe it's helping with household responsibilities because you're getting overwhelmed trying to wear all of the hats. Maybe it's just simple encouragement, and kids are usually good with that too. It just makes you all warm and fuzzy when they're supporting you in your business endeavor. You want to invite questions. And this is important. Let your family ask the questions because they're going to be inquisitive. They're going to want to know, they see you going to and fro. They know about you and your multitasking Olympics that you're doing. And so let them ask the questions that they need to ask. And you may be surprised by what they want to know. And then, of course, you want them to celebrate with you. So celebrate the wins together. Don't wait until you've made it to the top, which you made it to the six-figure mark. No, even the smallest milestone, celebrate the milestones along the way. They all matter to the journey. Whether it's a new client, a launch, a successful event, a completed project, whatever it is, when the family celebrates together, the family becomes invested together. And lastly, our point number 5, remember, the family is a part of the dream. Sometimes we become so focused on building the dream that we forget who the dream is for. Most of us build our business for our families, for our freedom, um, our future. So the business matters, the goals matter, the growth matters, but so do the people sitting around your dinner table every night. Your family is not an obstacle to your success. They are part of the reason for your success. And when we remember that, it really does change how we build. So let me ask you something. If your family was sitting right next to you at this very moment, could they clearly explain why you're building your business? Would they know your vision? Would they know your goals? Or is that a conversation that still needs to happen? Hey, because if it does need to happen, there's time to make it happen. We want the buy-in. We want the support. We want the encouragement. And you do not have to carry the weight of entrepreneurship alone. Yes, we have the Mompreneur HQ community to help you and support you, but your family may never understand every detail of your business. But if you share it with them and know that that's okay, they can at least understand your heart. They can understand your vision, and they can understand what you're working toward together. And often that's enough to create greater support, connection, and alignment. And that's what you want: support, encouragement, connection, alignment. So here's your assignment this week. Why don't you give it a try? Schedule a family meeting. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. It can even be over some pizza, or just, hey, just meet up at the dinner table, maybe during a family game night if you do those. Share your vision, share your why, share your goals, and then invite your family into the conversation, because business grows together when entrepreneurs feel supported. We want the support of our families, and families grow stronger when they feel included. All right. So, the family meeting: how to make your business a team sport. Let them in. Don't keep it separate. Next time, we're going to be wrapping up our family pillar series with snacks, school runs, and sales. Finding your family rhythm. Because success isn't just about having a vision, it's about creating rhythms that work for your real life, not your play life, not your REEL life. This is this type of stuff that happens all the time. We talked about those bloopers. You plan, and things may not go your way. But if you can identify and find your family rhythm, then all the multitasking that you do will make sense eventually. So again, thank you for spending your time with me today. If you haven't already, I'll remind you one more time to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your business besties this episode of the Making of a Mompreneur show. You can follow us at the Digimompreneur on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And as always, until next time.